Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Pele Yoetz. We're on the letter Aleph. Today the topic is Amen. And, we think we know everything there is to know about the word Amen, but we're going to see what the Rav wants to tell us today about the word Amen. So it states, it is well known how much the Zohar HaKadosh in Parashat Vayelech, Daf 285b, extolled the great and awesome award for someone who watches faithfully. For example, that he sits and waits for when he will hear a bracha in order to answer Amen. So it says, at the same time, one must be aware of the harsh and awful punishment for someone who is not careful to answer Amen. In truth, a person's hair will stand on end when he sees its severity. I already copied the language of the Zohar in the pamphlet Ord Alim, see there. Hearts will be pained for the many common people who are not careful at all in this matter. God, who is good, will forgive them, for the entire nation has erred accidentally. So, Baruch Hashem for His mercy. I think we don't realize the power of the word Amen. Certainly, I didn't know, that there was a consequence for not answering Amen to a bracha. But it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because you are blessing the name of Hashem for whatever it is. You're really blessing Him for either creating something or for giving you a mitzvah. And it makes a lot of sense to me. If you're hearing a bracha and we don't answer Amen, it's a sign of disrespect. So, good to know. I mean, this is the thing about learning Musar, right? You learn the Derek Eretz of for life. I mean, you learn, you just learned, right? You just learn. And sometimes it just amazes me how ignorant I am, which I don't know. I'm such a nerd, so I just love, I love reading anything that will help me to gain insight on how to grow closer to Hashem. But we're going to continue on. It says, since it's written in Mishlei 3:27, do not withhold good from its owners. If you have the means to provide, how careful one needs to be to recite his bracha out loud if there are people present who knows and wants to answer Amen. He must not withhold this good from them, and it will be considered a charity even greater than 100 gold coins. So, we spoke yesterday about, supporting people in Eretz Israel, and when I said that you can't give what Hashem hasn't given you. But let me tell you, Hashem always makes, He's always digging tunnels for us to He's just so amazing like that. So, I mean, who knew? Just to answer Amen, worth more tzedakah than 100 gold coins. Amazing. So it says, greater is the one who facilitates another performance of mitzvot. Whoever does this is considered by the Torah as if he himself did the mitzvah in Sanhedrin 99b. Furthermore, the halacha decides wrote in Orach Chaim 167.2 that one who answers Amen should do so in a loud voice, in order that the person make the blessing will hear him, and he should intend to hear the Amen as if he had said it. The person who responds Amen should have in mind to discharge his obligation of answering Amen for the person making the bracha. Between the person making the bracha and the one answering Amen, the name of Hashem will be exalted, and upon them will come the bracha of good. Amazing. One word, 3 letters. Like, who knows, where this could lead. Like, I get excited, guys. I know this is supposed to be Musar, but I get excited. So it says, all the more does the individual saying Kaddish need to be careful to recite it properly. If he says Yitkadal and Yikadash, may he be killed and pilled on high. So this is, I think we spoke about this in a few chapters before about teaching your children when they're saying brachot that they should be enunciating, very carefully. And this is a great example of that. If you say it sloppily, you could be saying, may he be killed and pilled on high, has v'shalom, instead of, blessing and exalting the name of Hashem. So this is a great example of why we should always, be tired in 2 more minutes. You can say the bracha with proper, kavana. So it says, and other similar things. He is as one who blasphemes and curses. How can anyone respond Amen after him? As a result, besides the fact that he will surely be punished as one who blasphemes and curses heaven, an additional punishment will be imposed for his causing the non-recitation of Amen. Likewise, a person needs to recite Kaddish to recite Kaddish consensually, in order that he not cause the non-recitation of Amen after Shema Dekusha Baruch Hu. since as a result, one wrong will cause the loss of much good. Similarly, when reciting the bracha and the Torah and the Haftarah, if a person says them hurriedly and impetuously, with the letter exchanges and omissions, he will negate the answering of Amen. God will bring everything before the throne of justice. Oy vavoy, oy vavoy. How careful we have to be. We have to be so careful, and we pray that Hashem will have mercy on us. Please give us the kavod to do this. The strength to do this properly with proper kavod to you. So it says, for all this as well, the soul of those who fear God will be distraught at the sight of common people who think that they will provide pleasure for their deceased fathers and mothers by praying large sums of kadashim and haftarot. Without doubt, instead of pleasure, they will cause a plague. So I got to tell you, the Hebrew words that they're using here, when you have them one way, it spells out the word pleasure. But as you know, if you, so the word they're using for pleasure is oneg. And then they're using the word plague, which is nega. So this is a problem. A lot of times, we tend to cause the letters to switch, as it were, right? And this is a problem that we do so frequently. And Hashem is sending us oneg, and we're, because of our actions, we're changing the letters into nega, has v'shalom. And this is where a lot of our hardships are coming from. So we have to be so careful. I think that the more that we delve into this, we understand, what's going on, how the physical is causing a reaction in the spiritual, and vice versa. How do we bring those spiritual things into actuality? So I think once we start to really get an understanding of this, we can be much more machmir and careful about our day-to-day. And, of course, everything with practice. We can't expect that we're going to learn a lesson today and we're going to be experts of it by tomorrow. That's not the way it works. But I think we have to start somewhere. We have to start educating ourselves on what is the proper way to conduct our lives. So it says, Has v'shalom, by mentioning God's name in vain, they blaspheme and curse, they cause the nullification of Amen, and the Kaddish and the Haftarah are disqualified. Would that their hearts be moved to donate to charity the monies that they give for the memory of their parents and relatives. Even someone who is well versed and capable of reciting the Kaddish and Haftarah properly, if he is of meager monetary means, he must spend an exorbitant sum to purchase them. I say that it is certainly better that he should give the money to charity for worthy poor people. He says, it will be more pleasing to Hashem, and it will be pleasing and pleasant for his parents as well. And the more so, if he suffers from speech impediment, he should not step forward to recite Kaddish or Haftarah. If his parents were able to appear to him, they would scream to him and they would say, whoever asked you for this, stop. The omission is better than the commission of evil. So this is, and certainly Harav is not saying that people with speech impediment cannot, not say brachot or anything, but we have to be careful. We have to be really careful. I think it is. We have to, again, I think this is going to be a repetition of mine throughout this whole series. You have to get involved with a Rav. I mean, if you're experiencing a lot of Yisurim and you don't have a Rav, or you're not connecting with your Rav, you're not, this is why we're getting all our troubles. And then, we start complaining back to Hashem, why? And, we don't educate ourselves. We don't realize it's like sticking your hand in the light socket and say, why did I get electrocuted? I think this is like the kind of thing that we set ourselves up for all the time. And by the way, I don't know why I'm doing this hand gesture, like back and forth movement with my hand, as if somehow you guys can see it. But I just want you to know that, it's very animated here in this room. There's a lot of fire coming down. So I crack myself up, I tell you. But moving on, it says, it is proper for any man to be concerned that his sons, or some of them, will perhaps not know how to recite Kaddish and Haftorah properly. He must absolutely command them not to recite any Kaddish or Haftorah during the 12 months or in the Yartite unless they go first to a sage who discerns their ability and teaches them. See, this is how important. This is really how important, because, as we know, and if you don't know, many of us know, those first 12 months are so important for the niftar, because they're going up on a trial, and everything is, coming into play here. And, has v'shalom, good intentions, as good as they may be, you don't want them to be in vain. So it's a very serious topic. And certainly Hashem has ways to help you out in this. So get involved with your Rav, or get involved with a Rav who can either teach you how to do it. If you don't know, there's no shame in that. You don't know. But, have a Rav help you and to teach you. And that's what Klal Yisrael is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about helping each other. Again, I said this in Tomer Devorah, whoever's following that, if you know Aleph base, but your friend only knows Aleph, you're obligated to teach him base. So, I mean, this is what it is. We have to teach each other what we've learned. So it says, otherwise, they should hire a sage who will recite Kaddish for the soul of their parent. This is an honor, and the honor of their parent when they increase their kavod in Shemaim. Their own honor will increase, and they will merit children who are Torah scholars. So, and there are plenty of organizations that do. They take this on. You can hire somebody to do this, and they do recite it. So, I mean, again, Klal Yisrael has really thought of everything. We really, we're more of a unit than I think we realize. I think we just have to start learning how to draw on each other for help. And it says that that we insisted that one should recite conscientiously Shema Dekudsha B'richu, in order that others answer Amen, and only possible if one is saying Kaddish by himself. However, when one says it together with many others, it's impossible to be careful, because some people go faster while others go slower. And we know this, right? We do. This happens all the time. Whenever you're davening in the shul, you got minyan, whatever it is. This is certainly the case. And it says, this is reprehensible. If the person leading the prayer sees that people are saying Kaddish with great difficulty and mistakes, he should be careful to recite it with them in a clear language in order to bring zechus to the many. So this is sometimes people, they go ahead and all of a sudden, I guess, his advice to us is that when we're getting to this point, the leader now has to stop and make sure that everyone's saying this together and properly. This is how serious it is. So it says, he also needs to be careful to say the entire silent Shmona Esrei and the repetition. Not like the custom in some places where they say immediately the first 3 bracha out loud and the rest recite silently. Beside the fact that according to the mystical teachings, he has created deficiencies in matters that stand at the pinnacle of the world, he furthermore causes the omission of the responding of many amens by many people. So it says, I have heard a few hazonim, an appropriate reason. When there are not many people in the synagogue, they are concerned that there will not be 9 men who have intention for the bracha. And Maran in the Shulchan Aruch, Orach Haim 124.4, wrote that if this is so, it is very likely that the bracha are considered in vain. This is a proper reason when there are few men, or for mincha when it is already very late. However, it is better when the Chazan says the entire Shemona Esrei out loud and the congregation recite it with him, word for word. This is specifically when there are few men or it is almost night. Otherwise, for mere quickness or because of the cold, a person should not deceive himself to cause the loss of much good and to diminish the kavod of Shemaim, has v'shalom. Look in the Teshuvot Had Ridbaz, section 94. We will write more about this in the entry Aniyah. Nevertheless, it is still better that one should recite the entire repetition, even with a limited minyan. See what he wrote in the pamphlet of Chesed Alafim, section 124. So really, very serious stuff. The word Amen has the power to do much good. But if we're not saying the right bracha with the right enunciation, we can be doing a world of bad, has v'shalom. Please, if you're not all that educated in Shulchan Aruch, It's very worthwhile for you to, begin, a study in that, and really, how wonderful it is to have a Rav. It really is wonderful. It truly is wonderful, and I really hope that for everyone. I hope that for everyone. I really hope that Hashem will awaken a desire and a hunger for everyone to want to learn. For no other reason, it's just how to learn how to live their life on a day-to-day basis. But the word Amen is such a powerful word that even the person who says the word Amen, the reward is considered greater than that of the one who said it. So really, great word, Amen, right? It's a great word. And I pray that Mashiach will come and he'll give these shears instead of myself. And I pray that Hashem will send them speedily in our days. Amen. So that's it for now. And I hope we'll all be together again soon. B'ezrat Hashem.